What's going on? Welcome back to my channel. This video comes from TikTok, obviously, and it's about a father. He spent a day with his son or the weekend with his son. He got him some stuff, some shoes, and he's dropping it back off with the mother. And the mother doesn't like the fact that he bought his actual son that came out of that are from his loins shoes, and she's pissed off that he didn't buy shoes for the rest of her other kids that aren't actually his. So yeah, the nerve of this woman, just the entitlement that she has, like, oh, you have my kid, you gotta buy one for all, shoes for all my kids just because, you bought for one. They're gonna be jealous, whatever. But the thing is, I did a video about something like similar to this about 2 months ago, where the father wanted to take his daughter to Disney World with the rest of his family, and the mother was pissed and said he wasn't gonna be able to take her because what about her other, I think, 3 or 4 children? He's like, what the hell? They ain't my kids. So yeah, let's get into it.
Son, go ahead. Man, go on there, man. Go. Let me
Okay. He's all happy.
And that's wrong because he usually buy your brother's shoes. But look at this petty dude.
That don't got nothing to do with me, man.
It do got something to do
with my
with
kids, man. Them is not my kids.
Okay,
man.
but guess what? When you was with me, you was buying shoes.
I'm not with you though. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I'm not with you. But I'm taking care of my son. Anything outside of that, I do not owe you that. I do not owe them nothing. No, none of that. What are you talking about?
Yeah, just like a petty dude.
She's calling him petty because he bought kids for his, shoes for his kids. You bought them when you used to buy them, yeah, when they were together, but they're not together no more. So he's responsible for everything that your kids need. You gone and met somebody else, he's gone and married somebody else. So no matter what he buys his actual son, he has to buy stuff for his brother, his half brother, whatever you want to call it, for the rest of his life, just because he bought for his actual son. That's crazy.
Yes, you will.
Matter of fact, you got dude laid up in here with you. He need to be taken care of.
He ain't got nothing to do with you.
You do. You right here paying attention. You do.
Nah,
What you talking about, man? Ain't no
don't-
about nothing, man.
So look at that, just like a soft ass dude. The dude that's in there staying with her, he laid up on her in her place, not doing nothing. But the woman is expecting the ex to do something for all of her kids. If you want something done for your kids, you got somebody there. Why don't you have him do it? He's a new stand-in, so have him do it. That's just crazy. And then dude want to get up the couch apparently and come in there and want to start some stuff with the father that dropped his kid off. I'm like, bro, some of these people are just crazy these days.
Don't even go there. Don't even go there. You better go on before
I ain't
he.
not hearing none of that shit.
Yes.
I'm gonna do what I gotta do for my kids. Anything outside.
Okay, so you ain't gonna. You petty ass dude.
See, a woman is quick to call a man out of name, call him petty, call him sassy, just because she don't get what she want. So if she don't get what she want, oh, you petty, you sassy, you soft, you gay, every name under the sun other than his birth name, just because she's not getting what she wants. So I'm gonna call you whatever. The guy's right there with you. Like ask him to go buy your kid some shoes. If he's there, he wants to be in your house, eating up all your food, laying on your couch. Is he paying for anything? Probably not, because he's probably a Pookie or a Ray Ray. They don't request nothing from those guys, but from the guys who actually trying to do something to be, a better man or be there for his family, his kids, or in this case, his kid, he's the one who get called out of name. I say some of these women these days, I swear I see it all the time. Family members, friends, when I was in the military, people out of the military, you see it all the time. You try to do the right thing, and no matter what, they try to bash you.
Told you that's what I don't like. I don't like fooling with that dude. Look at Patty.
And that's pretty much where it stops. Just how continuously to, berate, call them names. Because he took care of his kid, bought his kid some shoes. And he didn't take care of her other kid that's not his. Let's see what these comments say. I'm glad I don't have kids, and if I did, would be one man. Cause no. What? Okay. Cause no. Does she want a squad of men to take care of her kids? Let's see what the reply was. Seems like it. Is she for real? Ask their dad to buy them shoes. Exactly. Where's the kid's actual father? They don't want to they don't want to answer stuff like that. That part. Very silly. Sounds silly, and got a whole man up in there. Sad. Right? Oh, my bad. If she had a man, then I'm buying shoes for my son and not the other kids. The fuck? Exactly. If you're living together, that's one thing. If you're married, living together, you have your son, your stepson. Technically, you guys are married. Yeah, of course you're gonna do for it while you're there. But anything happens, you break up, you divorce, you move out of different locations, and you're not no longer obligated for that kid or that woman. You're obligated to your son. So, or your daughter, whatever the case is, you do for your son. If their father, their other kid's father's not doing for them, that's not on you. That's on the woman. She made a poor choice. She backed her own horse. She should have got with somebody who's able to provide for their own kid, right? So, but I never understood things like that. It's just some of the craziest shit that you see, especially in brown skin community. Not saying it doesn't happen in other communities, but especially in the brown community where the woman doesn't get her way, so dude's sassy, quick to call name, quick to pass judgment on somebody. Well, that's my thoughts. That's my comments on. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell, give me a thumbs up, and I'll catch you next video. Peace.